Hey guys, this is Jeremy with MetaHuman. Today we're talking about Legends of Runeterra. So 2020 is the year that marks the start of Riot's new game Legends of Runeterra, better known for their development of League of Legends and more recently their auto battler Teamfight Tactics. This is their first IP release in a very long time. Now, the game is a turn-based strategy card game that encompasses characters and lore from the lore of League of Legends. Players can choose their favorite champions to lead them into battle as they align themselves to specific factions like Demacia or Noxus. The game is free to play and it's very generous in giving players the ability to earn new cards without having to pay for them. So let's get right into it. So for Hearthstone players looking to check out Legends of Runeterra, perhaps the biggest change is in the fact that there is interaction during both players' turns, meaning players have the ability to respond to spells and abilities.
There, through the trees.
So Hearthstone was known for its lack of interactions, as outside of secrets, players were able to conduct their turn without disruption. But combat is significantly different, as players can choose which creatures they want to attack with, while the defending player can decide which card blocks what. Now, this method of combat kind of gives the power to the defending player, as they get to decide which character blocks and can even choose to not block to save creatures with powerful effects. And this all relates to a very a deep strategy that eventually will play out as the game goes on in terms of resources. Now, just like Hearthstone, there are effects as well that activate under certain conditions. So for some notable ones that are similar, we have Last Breath, which is Death Rattle, and that's basically the same thing. There's also Barrier, which is like Divine Shield. Now, Barrier works in application the same way as Divine Shield does, but the differs in the fact that Barrier only lasts a term that you activate it. So when you activate your turn, Barrier will only last for that one turn, as opposed to Divine Shield, where it will last until it's spent by the opponent.
Here, sound the alarm.
Wind at your back, you'll always find your way. Haseki!
For Magic players looking to try League of Legends of Runeterra, the biggest change is going to be in how priority is passed around. So instead of players gaining priority during phase changes and after spells are cast in this game, there aren't really any true phases. For example, while there is a pre-combat phase, the opposing player doesn't necessarily get priority during the phase unless a decision is made. By decision, the game refers specifically to two things: a creature is a player, or a slow or fast spell is played. Only after the turn player makes a decision, a priority is passed. Now, if the turn player chooses to not make a decision and simply goes into combat, then the defending player cannot respond until attackers are declared. This kind of gameplay interaction matters during moments like before damage and after blocks. Even though that this method of gameplay is different, it doesn't take too much time to get used to the way the system works. There are other similar mechanics as well. So for example, there is a skill elusive, which is similar to flying. They are very similar in the fact that elusive creatures can only be blocked by creatures that are also elusive, just like how flying works in Magic. Then there's also overwhelm, which is trample. Effects work the same. Then there is overwhelm, which is like trample, and the effects work pretty much the same. And finally, quick strike, which is exactly like first strike. These effects, while very similar, are actually... And finally we have quick strike, which is kind of like first strike. These effects, while very similar in name, are actually very different. The most important change is that quick strike only takes effect during your turn, meaning blocking with a quick strike unit is the same as blocking with a regular unit.
An impasse, huh?
So that's what I have so far. So this is what my initial impressions are for Legends of Runeterra so far. I'm sure that this is, since this is just a beta, I'm assuming that there will be a lot more features added or taken away or changed as we get closer to its official launch date. But from what I can see so far, it encompasses a lot of aspects from both Hearthstone and Magic, which is actually pretty interesting because both games have interesting takes on the card turn-based system, and to integrate them into a single one and combine it makes for an interesting combat and interaction based card game. But what do you think? For those who have played Legends of Runeterra, do you think that you'll be playing this in the far future, or do you think that this is just going to be another fad like the one more notable on Valve? Or do you think that this will just be a huge hit, just like League of Legends? Well, let us know in the comments below what you think. But until next time, I'll see you later. Jeremy here with MetaHuman. If you like geek news and entertainment, then make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more updates.